record so that we have this for everyone to tune into the recording. I'm so excited that Emily L is here tonight and she's going to be giving us some awesome tips on the not so secret to success, which I'm excited about because I feel like coaches are always like, what's the secret? But really it's like we all have the same tools, we do the same things. So sometimes it's just like a matter of going back to the basics. So a little bit about Emily, besides being like a total rock star and like living the life out in Colorado, like mountain girl, like doing all these fun adventures that I'm super jelly of. And I'm like, oh, I live in like Flatland, Indiana. I might have to come out to Colorado. She's a 2-star coach. She's also a premier coach, which is awesome. A Success Club All-Star legend. You guys always hear me say, like, that is consistency AF right there. Like, when you become a legend. She's been in the Success Club 10, 27 months, which is crazy amazing. Talk about, like, getting it done, following through. Like, she's really good at consistency. That's one thing, like, she's amazing at. I admire her about. And thanks to coaching, she got to leave her corporate job, so that's exciting. Congratulations. She's also a dog mom, and she is, your fiance is Tyler, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are super adorable. I always like to throw in some personal things. So I'm going to shut up because I could talk forever, and I'm just going to let you take it away, girl.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me. So first, I kind of just want to get to know you guys real quick because I like to know who I'm talking to and what we're doing. So I'm not going to have everyone go around, but just give me like a hand raise if you've been coaching for a year or less. Okay, and then is that like 6 months or less? I guess keep your hand up if it's 6 months or less. Everyone's been here over 6 months. Okay. 1-ish. And then if you're like around 2 years, raise your hand. Okay, that's pretty much everyone. And then do we have like 3 or 4 years? Okay, Leah. Okay, and Crystal. I know Crystal's been like 4. All right, so I just kind of like to get to know you guys a little bit and where you're at and how long you've been in the business so I can kind of like cater my talk to you guys. So feel free to literally raise your hand at any point, ask a question, or if you want to have some Q&A at the end, I can certainly leave time for that as well. I really like you guys to interact, so if you want to pull up a little chat thread and if anything sticks out to you, throw a comment in there. I love that you all have your cameras on. I hate when I get on team calls and everyone just has the black screen on. I'm like, come on, like, let me see you. So I appreciate that. And obviously you guys have an amazing leader. Crystal is absolutely amazing. So you guys are blessed to have her as your coach. I've only really known Crystal for a little. I've watched her stuff, but we really just started talking and she's so awesome. And you guys are really lucky to have her as your coach. So I'm just going to give you a quick background about me so you can know a little bit of my story. I started coaching just over 2 years ago. Oh, Crystal, real quick, do you have 40 minutes Zoom or an hour Zoom?
It's unlimited.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure. I can talk, so just cut me off if you like, need to go. So I started coaching just over 2 years ago. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so East Coast girl, and I went to Penn State for food science. I kind of just picked a major because I didn't know what else to do. Like, no one really prepares you for that. I wasn't this girl who had like a dream job in mind when I went to college. I was just like, all right, I like math and I like science and I like food. I like to eat, so let's pick that one. So I went for food science to Penn State. And I never really fell in love with it. I just kind of stayed in it because I thought that's what you had to do. I did always have a passion for health and fitness, but I had no idea that that could turn into a career. Like, I kind of grew up in a family that told me, like, I love my parents, absolutely love them to death, and they always told me I could do whatever, but I was also told, like, don't major in kinesiology, like, you won't make money, you won't get a good job, like you want a stable job type of thing. So imagine their thoughts when I started network marketing. But so anyways, went to college, did the whole thing. My story's kind of like I followed this straight and narrow path, went to college, got the grades, got an internship. I worked at Kraft Foods for a summer in New York, making different flavors of Capri Sun and stuff like that. and then moved to Arkansas after college for a job. And let me turn off my messenger or that's going to keep blowing up. Moved to Arkansas. So never in a million years did I think I would move 18 hours away from home. I'm like a huge homebody. I was like homesick living 45 minutes away in college. And I kind of just did that though, because that's what you do. You go to school, you get a job, you take the job wherever it leads you. So my boyfriend and I moved to Arkansas. I started a job at the Walmart and Sam's Club headquarters and kind of just started living adult life. And like, I mean, it was exciting at first, but after a couple weeks or a couple months, I was just like, yeah, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Like I said, I still wasn't totally passionate about food science, so it wasn't a job that I was really like passionate about and felt good about and felt like I was making a difference. So I kind of kept looking for like, okay, what's next? What's next? And so I went back to school and got my MBA online and like quickly realized that that wasn't what was next. Like that's not what I thought it was going to lead me to. Like it was great, whatever, I got the experience, but like did not enjoy it. That's not what was missing. I just kind of kept searching for that missing piece though. I was always interested in health and fitness, so I grew up playing sports. I danced for 13, 14 years, competed. Dance was my life for like quite a few years, like a 6 days a week type of thing. So always heavily involved in sports. I ran cross country and track in high school and college. And like I said, I wanted to be involved in fitness. I just didn't know how. I didn't know it was a legit possibility. So through all of this, I also, in that span of time in Arkansas, had 2 major hip surgeries and a major hernia surgery. And I kind of just like lost my identity for a while because I was the fitness girl and I couldn't work out. I couldn't do anything. I was on bed rest for weeks at a time recovering from those surgeries. I was in physical therapy for months at a time. I was a runner, so like I clearly couldn't run after that for a long time. And I kind of just, I was living this life that I just wasn't excited about. And I tell people, I had it from the outside looking in, our life was perfect. Like we had the house, the jobs, the salary, we got a puppy. My boyfriend and I had been together for like 5, 6 years at that point. Like from the outside looking in, it looked like life was perfect. And I felt really bad admitting that it wasn't. I felt really guilty admitting that I wasn't happy. I felt really bad because I worked hard. I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do. But deep down, I was like, I can't live life like this for 50 more years. Like I can't go to a job where people are just complaining about work and counting down till Friday and counting down till 5 o'clock. And that was just like eating me alive on the inside. So spare you the longer details, but coaching came into my life while I was still getting the MBA, while we were in the process of moving in Arkansas, while I was working 50 hours a week. And I used the excuse of, I don't have time for this. My coach reached out to me quite a few times and I was like, I'm already into health and fitness. Like, I don't need your help. Thanks. So now I feel really bad in saying that. Oh, Emily, you can relate. Funny because we have the same name. But I was just like, this sounds really cool, but I don't have time for this. And it was my gym instructor. She was a group fitness instructor at the gym that I was going to. So I just figured this must be for personal trainers. Like, this is not, I can't do this. Like, I have a food science degree. So obviously we stayed in contact because I went to her class every Tuesday, Thursday. And I like loved her though. Like I didn't tell her that, but I like stalked her. I like, not in person, but her social media. I was like creeping on her stuff. And this was like right around when she went to Summit and I was looking at all the pictures and I was like, what is this? Like I had not even heard of Beachbody. I saw infomercials of like T25 and always thought they looked really cool. But other than that, I did not know that this was a thing. I was not the girl that like was asked a million times. Like I wish I would have been. I wish I would have been asked before I was, but I had no idea this existed. So I watched her for a couple months, joined her free clean eating groups, did a challenge pack once, kind of, didn't really do the workouts. And then I started seeing the vision and I asked her more questions and I was just like, I know I'm busy, but like, this sounds like something I really want to do. Like, how can I make this work? So I started coaching in like November 2015. I was a discount coach for a couple of months, and then September of 2015, I joined with the Challenge Pack. November is when I was like, okay, I want to try this coaching thing. And then January is when I was like, all right, let me actually do this. So January 2016 is when I kind of went all in, and I kind of saw the potential. And guess what? That's when I got a hernia and needed surgery. And then I had my hip surgery I had my hip surgery, and then 2 weeks later had the hernia surgery. So I couldn't work out for like 4 months. So, but I didn't let it put me down. I kind of just was like, all right, guess I'm focusing on nutrition. Like, I'm going to make this work. And I've made it work ever since. I mean, I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet, but that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. And that was January 2016. I was laying in bed rest after surgery when they announced that you could sign up for the Success Club trip. I had no idea what I was doing, brand new coach, and I was like, I want to go on a trip. Like, this sounds really cool. So I signed up for the trip, realized I needed to hit SC10 every month, and I have ever since. So sign up for the Success Club trip. It will motivate you to hit SC10. But yeah, so that's kind of my journey. I've had a long journey since then. And honestly, I started out as like a really confident coach. Like, this is my dream job. I want to do this. I was listening to national wake-up calls and seeing the possibility of like, wait, people actually do this full time. And in that time, I was falling in love with the process. I should say right before that surgery, I did Insanity Asylum and got amazing results. So you have to be a product of the product and believe in it yourself. Because if I would have not done that, I would not be where I am, because I needed that true experience with, I don't need the 2 hours at the gym. These 30-minute workouts from home got me like 6-pack abs in 19 days before I got my hernia. So I finally just went back and finished that program for the first time since then. But tonight I'm going to kind of tell you guys the not so secret sauce to success. My journey has been long. Like, 2 years may not seem long, but for me it was. And like, that's hard is. And for me, that's hard. It's hard for me to admit that, because I honestly thought, because I was listening to all these national wake-up calls and looking at the top coaches and seeing the possibility, my vision has always been there. My dream in this has always been there. My belief has always been there. But I thought I would have success a lot faster than I did. I got to Emerald the first day I decided I wanted to be a coach. So I signed up my parents and I was like, you're doing this. It actually really helped them. They lost like 20 pounds combined in 21 days. So it was really awesome. I'm sorry, I think my internet's lagging, but if you guys can still hear me, I think my head just moves a little slow. Mountain internet. But I got to Emerald in one day that I decided to be a coach, and then I didn't get to Diamond until April 2017. So I, in that process, was hitting over Success Club 10 every month. I was hitting like Success Club 20s and 30s, and I thought I was doing everything I needed to do to grow my business. Didn't hit Diamond until April of last year, when I decided, well, I have like 50 some coaches on each leg, but none of them are Emerald. So I'm just going to build this damn thing myself. So I built my fiance to Emerald and my dad to Emerald and hit Diamond finally. But then I was like, all right, I have this. I have a team going. And honestly, guys, I'm doing the work. I'm doing all the work that it takes. And I was still not really seeing that success that I wanted to see. And my story is that consistency and hard work and, what was I going to say there? I'll get back to that point. I don't remember what I was going to say, but that there's no secret sauce to success. So the thing that I want to go to, and then I guess I'll finish out this story. I ended 2017 as 2-star premier coach. Like, now our team is rocking on fire and like things are starting to pick up. But I would never have gotten to that point without the hard work, consistency that I put in those 2 years before that. So None of that came easy to me. The 2-star, the premiere, the vision of where I'm going, none of it has came easy. It's actually challenged me in more ways than I ever thought possible. Kind of like I started saying, I was this really confident coach when I came in. And that's normally opposite. Like people normally come in not so confident and then gain this confidence through their journey. I was the opposite. I came in really confident and I was like, this is my dream job. This is perfect for me. Like I'm perfect for this. And then all this shit happened in the middle that really lowers your confidence and gets inside your head and makes you have limiting beliefs. Like I had Facebook groups of old college friends making fun of me, making memes of me. I had my parents who say they support me, but don't really support the whole thing. My grandpa was diagnosed with cancer and died within like 1 month of being diagnosed within all the middle of this. Like I just had life happen. I still did my business. I still did my work, but I had a lot of things that took my confidence down. And this journey, this coaching, this entrepreneurship has been harder than I ever possibly thought it would be. But that's not to turn you off. That's to say it's totally worth it, but you're going to change as a person on this journey. I have changed so much. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about leadership, about consistency, about everything. Like I go to therapy for anxiety now, which I would have never done before becoming a coach, but I'm now surrounded by people who tell me that that's okay. Just so much has changed with me individually, and you have to prepare to go on this journey that's gonna be hard, but that's gonna be worth it. So let me get into the actual topic now. That was kind of just before the topic, but that's pretty much my whole story. So you're going to feel like a failure at times. Don't mind me if I'm looking down at my notes. You're going to feel like you could be doing more. You're going to see others doing it faster than you, but you can't let any of those things get into your head. Unfollow the people. I have literally unfollowed almost every single Beachbody coach at this point, except the ones that I talk to personally. Like I unfollow, I can't look at their stuff because I play the compare game. Like unfollow if you have to, or use it as inspiration. I still do use some of them as inspiration of, okay, I can do that too, but you have to do what's right for you and unfollow them if that's happening to you as well. So what has been my secret to all this? What has been my secret to success? And I know a lot of times in this business, people will say, what's the secret? Like, what's the one thing that changed your business? And I spent so long looking for that secret because, like I said, I was doing the work and I wasn't getting the results. So I was like, there has to be some secret out there of like, how is Bonnie Engel doing this? And how is Lindsay Matway doing this? And how is Melanie Mitchell doing this? Like there has to be a secret. So I would be like YouTubing all these calls and being like, all right, listen for the secret. What's in here? What's their secret to do this? And I'm here to tell you, obviously you guys have heard this before, but there is no secret to success. So personal development. What's the one personal development book that has changed my business and changed my life and allowed me to quit my corporate job and replace my income? So it was The Slight Edge. It was The Compound Effect. It was Get Over Your Damn Self. It was You Are a Badass. It was High Performance Habits. It was Girl Watch Your Face. I say all those things to you guys not to have you go hurry up and write down all these books I said. The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, like I literally have probably 50 books sitting over there. I don't want you guys to write them down. I don't want you to take notes on, oh, that she said that book changed her business. I want you guys to realize that I've read a lot of books, and it's not one book that changes your business. It's all the books. You have to do personal development every day. And it's not just like personal development. It took me 3 months to finish one book. It's personal development of actually doing it and reading and implementing of what you learned. I literally, so when I started, yes, I quit my job now. I work full-time Beachbody now. But when I started, like I said, I worked 50 hours a week in corporate America, was getting my MBA online, had a puppy, and was moving. So I worked my business in the cracks of the day. I worked my business half hour at lunch and then an hour before bed. I was not getting enough sleep as I should have, but it was that short-term sacrifice to get me to where I could quit my job. So those short-term sacrifices we kind of have to make, and you have to put the work in and be consistent with it. So my point with that is it was not one personal development book. It's all the books. It's all the things. Not like you don't have to go buy 50 books at once. Get a book that is meaningful to you right now that you need help on, and everything you learn is going to advance your business over time. Not one secret, not one thing. in one book. It's literally everything you read over time. It's taking trainings and being on team calls like this. Like, props to all of you guys for showing up for this team call, because that changes your business. You may hear one thing in a call that flips the light for you or something, but it may not be. It may not be this call. It may be another one. Like, get on team calls, do trainings, do whatever you can to move your business forward. It's being dedicated. It's going to every Super Saturday. Even when I was in Arkansas, and the Super Saturdays were like 8 people, but it was still, I went. It's not missing a power hour. So in my first year of coaching, when I was working in school and everything, I can count on one hand how many power hours I missed in an entire year of my first year in my business. And by that, I don't mean I scrolled on my phone and counted it as a power hour. I would not let my head hit the pillow until I got my 3 invites out and got my 5 conversations started. Like, and I think the 5 times I missed it were serious reasons. Like, I don't remember what they were now, but I can tell you I could count on one hand how many times I didn't send my invites that year. It's watching YouTube videos from other coaches. If you want to figure out something, watch a video, find it out. I don't have that great of upline support. My coach is awesome. I love my coach, but we're at different places in our lives right now. Like, she just had a baby, and then our upline coaches above that don't really work the business anymore. So I've had to figure out all these things on my own, and it's going to help me in the long term. And you guys have an awesome upline coach, so use the resources that she has to offer you. It's not letting no get in your way. It's not letting, or it's not saying you're going to do 5 or 10 or 3 invites. It's actually going and doing them. It is, I had all these books listed. I need to get past the book section. It's finding your niche and speaking to them. It's creating your brand. It's creating, which Crystal is a freaking boss at, taking tips from her. But it's creating your brand. It's making your Instagram look better. It's the tears when someone you love quits, because it's going to happen. It's all the national wake-up calls. It's making your stuff more visual. It's taking better pictures. It's learning Instagram stories. It's learning Facebook ads. It's everything. And I say those things, again, super fast, not because I want you to write them all down, but to realize all those things are going to come, but you have to do them over time. Like, I have been coaching for over 2 years, and just this past month, I really started focusing on, maybe I should have some colors for my brand. Like, do I suggest waiting 2 years? No. But you also, as a newer coach, don't feel like you need to do that right away. You have to focus on your power hour first. But I say these things to you because these are get better at selfies. These are the things that you have to do over time to grow your business. And it's not one thing that makes it better. It's all these things added up. And I don't want to say that to freak you out of like, oh, I have to have all this time, because remember, I didn't do that stuff in the beginning. I didn't do that stuff when I couldn't, until I quit my job and did have more time. But that's also to say, if you do quit your job, make sure you increase the power hour activities, because I made that mistake and I just like did what I was doing before and added on all this website fun stuff that didn't grow my business, because I didn't have a mentor to be like, you probably shouldn't do that. So I learned the hard way, don't do that. That's pretty much it, guys. So that was what I wanted to really tell you. It really just boils down to consistency. I'm not your example of a coach that had a post go viral and blow up and had 50,000 followers. I'm not a coach that has 50,000 followers. I've grown my Instagram account from scratch, from 0, very slow and steady. Do I wish I grew it faster? Yeah, but I just haven't had that. I haven't had an amazing upline. I haven't had a rock star coach that started with me. Like, every single person I've added, I have worked for and worked hard for, and I'm going to continue to do so. But what I want to show you guys is you don't need to have something lucky happen to you, but if you put in the hard work and the consistency over time, that compound effect is going to add up. So the last things I just wanted to touch on, that was my main topic. I hope it was helpful. But then Crystal is like, oh, you're so good at organization and stuff. So I wanted to give you some tips on efficiency and organization. I do come from like a data analyst role in my food science career. So I kind of like efficiency and stuff in that world. So keep track of all your contacts. I was a pen and paper girl for so long, and if I can encourage you to do anything, it's switch to online. Like, I know pen and paper works for some people, and I had to go through that phase too, because that's just what worked for me in the moment. But when you switch to online, whether it's, I use Streak, but whether it's Streak or Teamsy or Evernote or Google Sheets or whatever it is, you're not going to spend so much time flipping through pages. Like, if you want to grow a big business, you have to make it efficient and think longer term. And you're not going to have $1 million, 6-figure business. I mean, some people do. So I don't mean that to say it. I bet some people do have a 6-figure business with pen and paper, but in my head, I want to be more efficient and have more time, because I also don't want to have a business where I'm working 12-hour days all the time. Like, I want to have a 6-figure business where I'm working 4-hour days eventually. So switch to online. I use Streak. I love it. I'm going to make a video to give to Crystal and a couple other girls about my Streak, so she can give you to that as well. Have a solid follow-up system. So we've heard follow-up is in the fortune is in the follow-up. I follow up with people like crazy. So I don't waste a lot of time on like back and forth messages. Like, if they want in, they want in. If they don't, they don't. But I do send a ton of follow-ups. So I send a follow-up in 2 days if they haven't answered, 2 more days if they haven't answered, and then I go to 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. And then I just put them in this rotating cycle of monthly follow-up until they either join or say, get me off your follow-up list. But that way it's all organized, it's all in Streak. I don't have to flip through like pages of paper to find when I followed up with someone. Use canned responses, and that can either be like in Gmail. I use canned responses. So you guys are pretty much saying the same thing to everyone. Like, yes, make it individual. Yes, make it personal. Make sure you're having that connection with them. But a lot of the info is the same. If you're explaining what a challenge pack is, or if you're explaining what the package options are, you don't want to have to type that out every time. So have it somewhere where you can just copy paste it, add in their name, add in their goals. Like, you want to be personal. I'm not saying to take that away, but make it more efficient. And like in Gmail, you can just click canned responses or snippets, and all that comes up for you already. I also really like to use video. So when someone says they're interested, instead of trying to send this like long throw up paragraph of what a challenge group is, I send them like an 8-minute video of myself that I made a year and a half ago. And it just says what our challenge group is, and you get all this accountability, and you get this shake, and you get these workouts, and here's what it looks like, and I'm all excited, and I show them what it is, and then I don't have to send these long messages, retype it out, and say what a challenge group is. Someone said canned responses, so that's in Gmail. I actually used canned responses for a long time, but just switched to snippets, and I recommend them a little more. But it's just a feature. If you Google snippets or canned responses, you can, I have like if I do hashtag step 3, it comes up with my step 3 email. If I do hashtag step 4, it comes up with all my package options. So then I don't have to retype or even go find them to copy paste. I just have the little shortcut to that. And if you don't use email, you can just have a section that you go copy paste for the same thing. Track your vitals. Obviously, if you're not using the business activity tracker, use it. You have to do the vital behaviors to grow your business. Yeah, those are pretty much my tips on efficiency. And then I just had find people to push you. So like get a little mastermind group together with you guys, and find like Crystal can push you, and like Crystal pushes me and I push her in different ways, and find success partners and find other positive people who want to run with you, and get away from the negative people. And if you have negative people on your team, get rid of them nicely, because I've dealt with that too. And then just be true to who you are and be confident in your message, and don't let people put you down. So that was my call. I'd love to answer any questions you guys have, anything you have questions about, anything really. So you can open it up, Crystal.
Yes, if you have questions, you can just unmute yourself. Or if it's loud, you can always type in the chat too. But I saw like so many of you were saying that exactly what Emily was saying spoke to you, which is so funny, because Emily L, Emily S said like, no joke, you guys said the exact same sentence on this training. And like, she just said it this morning.
What'd she say?
It was about a short term. Like she gets up early. You can say it, Emily. I'm like talking for you.
No, like I get up at 4:00 every day because I'm a teacher. So I get up and like do my morning routine and then I go to work and I'm usually in bed by 10. Well, Leah and Crystal and I have been like chatting and I was like struggling and I was telling her how I recruited my boyfriend to help me. I'm like, okay, I am not allowed to go to bed until I have these numbers done. And he's like, okay, so when you finish that, you can go to bed. It was midnight when I went to bed last night. And I was mad that I was going to bed so late. And then I was like, that's stupid. This is like short term. Yes, I would like a few extra hours of sleep, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because of what I'm going to get out of it.
Exactly. And like, yes, it's short term. And like, yes, I did that for 9 months. So like, while it was short term, it wasn't that short, but like you do what you have to do and you see the longer vision. And even if you don't want to quit your job, you're still going to have that compound effect where you won't have to work as hard eventually and more of that residual income is going to start coming in.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I love all of this because I'm all about the basics. Like in what you said at the end, like how you spend time working on a website and stuff. It's like the flashy things, like you don't need. Like sure, at some point down the road, like when you're making 6 figures or whatever and you want to pay someone to do a website, like that's fine. But if you're building your business and you're still in that like really building phase, like just put blinders on and just literally rock the F out of your vitals.
Like I know coaches who are like 10-star and elite and all that who have never had a website. So like if that's your jam, yeah, go ahead. But like you don't need that to be successful and you don't want to waste your time on it when you need to be growing and doing the talking to people and being a person and having conversations.
Yeah. Like your time is better spent making new friends or doing more invites or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All the caps.
Any other questions, guys? I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a question. When did you, I mean, I'm assuming you would recommend implementing the online tracking system for new followers and not new followers, but you know what I mean? The whole 9. The thing that like, I feel like I stop myself from getting started on it is I'm afraid I'm going to be investing too much time in it. But, you know, like the actual setup, you know, getting familiarized and training on it.
I say
do that.
Yeah, I say give yourself permission to just take a day to do it. Like, yes, you should do your power hour and stuff, but maybe take a weekend day or something and just give yourself permission. I don't want to say anything, Crystal, you don't want me to, but I would even give yourself permission to take a day off of your power hour if you needed to, like if you really can't fit it in, because it's going to set you up for so much long-term success and make your life so much easier after that. So like, don't spend forever learning. Like if it's going to take you like a week, find a simpler system, but like Streak is super easy once you get it set up. And it will take some time. And something I did, because obviously I was talking to a ton of people before I implemented that, I kind of just started fresh. I could not go back and enter in all the people I've ever talked to, all the people I was currently talking to. Like I did put some in, but I kind of just took a month and I was like, something's got to change. Like I'm just going to start fresh. So I didn't go back and import everyone, which would take a lot of time. I just like knew it needed to be done. I put in the people that I was currently in the process of talking to or signing up, and I kind of just let it grow then. I didn't go back and like redo everything, if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, it does. It's just lately I've been like struggling because I have a new baby. So I've been like struggling like, okay, she's napping. I don't know how long she's napping for. So what am I going to do with this time that I can actually sit on the computer? Or like my husband works a lot, so I have to like very strategically plan my computer time. Because I mean, like fortunately, inviting and chatting with people I can do anywhere from my phone. So that I'm not super worried about, but I'm starting to kind of get stressed about, oh my God, I don't want to lose these people or, forget all about them or whatever because I'm not tracking it properly.
I would say just so in your cracks of the day, watch Google, because I am gonna make a video about Streak. I just saw someone ask a question, but I'm not gonna make one of like, here's how you set it up, because you can Google that, you can YouTube that. Like, so while like at some point in your day, watch a simple video on how to set up Streak, and then I'm gonna show you guys what my stages are. So like, and how I track people in there. But like I said, I think just starting fresh maybe for you would be good. So not worrying about like getting it all set up and perfect. And I'm a huge perfectionist, and sometimes I feel like I have to have something perfect before I can start it. But you just kind of have to rip that Band-Aid off, just start it. And then like you said, maybe because for Streak, it's a lot easier on the computer than it is a phone, to be honest. I don't love their app. But what you could do is, like, while you're working in the cracks of your day, make notes on your phone or in your notebook. And then at the end of your day, like right before bed or something, or in the morning, transfer whatever you had into your Streak then. So you don't feel like you have to be running to your computer at all times of the day.
Thank you.
I will say, like, I set up Streak a couple weeks ago. Don't scratch that. Stop. Sorry. I'm about ready to throw this pillow at him. I set up Streak. All I had, Mary, was a picture. Emily sent me a picture of her, what are they called?
Stages.
And I just looked at her photo and I set up my Streak in like a half an hour, and I didn't even watch a tutorial. Like, it's super simple to do once you get in there and you just start like setting it up. So I feel like it's an easy system to learn personally.
And it's daunting at first. Like, anything new is scary. And I'm in a mastermind with some people, and they've all been switching to it. And they're like, Emily, I'm scared. Like, how does all this work? And then once they do it, they're like, why did I not do this before? So just dive into it. It will be easier than you think it is.
Yeah. And you'll be happy you did it. And it'll save you that wasted energy worrying about losing people. You know what I mean?
Because I was losing people too. Pen and paper, and with the amount of people I started talking to, people were falling through the cracks. It stressed me out. It like gave me more anxiety that I didn't need. And I just like, oh, I'm losing all these people. So now I have it all in Streak. I can't lose anyone. They're right there. So I always know what stage they're in, what we're talking about. In my stages, I mean, like, I have a step 1, that means I invited them. Step 2 means we're talking about their goals. Step 3, I recommended programs to them. So what workout program? Step 4, I am talking about Shakeology and nutrition and the package prices. Step 4.5, I have, don't ask, their order options. So like, do you want to be a discount coach or customer, and what flavor of Shakeology do you want? And step 5 is they have the link to order.
I'm like, I did it. No. Okay.
Yeah, Streak is good for visual people, I feel like, because it's like, okay, step 1, did I do this with you? Step 2, and you just keep moving them down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm. I'm very visual, so it helps me. And then like, they either order or they go into my follow-ups, where I can send a mass email then, so I'm not spending forever following up too. So I'm just like, hey, I'm still thinking about you. Like, I'm here if you want to get started, and I'll send that to them like once a month or something. And just be able, and like, I'll still obviously go back and follow up in Messenger if I have to, or like to have that more personal connection. But I'm all about efficiency, so I'm like, all right. And sometimes those follow-ups can be out to like 200 people at once, just because that's how many people are in that pipeline or that stage.
Yeah. You said you don't spend a lot of time just like random chit chat with people. So
I don't.
That's fine. I mean, there are definitely people who like don't like just mindless chit chat. And so if you don't like it, you probably attract people who don't like it. But my question is, what about forming? Like, do you get to know the person, or is it more like, hey, you want to join this or no?
I mean, I can't. So it's definitely a mix of both. I've had quite a few discussions with other coaches about this recently too, and their opinions. I'm not going to say I don't form at all. I don't do any cold invites unless they ask for information. I don't just message someone and that I don't know and be like, hey, you want to do this? Like, I don't do that. I really think you need to build some sort of connection first, but so what I've been doing lately is, like, if I get a new follower on Instagram, my very first message to them will be something like, hey, thanks for following my page. You'll see I post this, this, and this. Like, are you into health and fitness too? And lately they've just been replying like, no, I need to get more into it, or yeah, I'm trying. I'm like, oh, hey, do you want help? So I kind of go straight into the invite from there because they're already following my page. They see what I'm about. Like, I just told them what I do. And then I give them more information. Now, is everyone like that? No. That's not how I started either. Like, I started definitely with more of the forming and conversations and really getting to know the people longer. I also just think, and this is just my opinion, but I think social media has changed that there's so many network marketing companies out right now that, like, people can see what you do. And if they're having a conversation with you, they're following you for a reason. Like, if they didn't want to be, they would unfollow you. And I just don't like to feel like that. I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just talking to you to invite you. Like, if I'm going to invite them, I'm going to invite them. I'm not going to be like, what's your favorite color? But I definitely think it's a balance. It depends who I'm talking to. Like, some of the conversations I do build a lot longer. It just depends. Or I'll just send the invite to a sneak peek group or something just so they can check it out. I don't know. Not to say it's right or wrong. I'm still experimenting with it myself because I have changed that a little bit in the past couple months. So we'll kind of see how it works. But I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, like, do you want information or not?
Yeah.
No. And it plants the seeds. If they say no right now, maybe they will in 6 months and they'll remember that I do this.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
What about your invites to coaching? Like, I know you said you have that in your step process, which is super awesome. I'm excited to see that. But what do you kind of do when you know, like, it's getting towards the end of the month and you want to hit Success Club 10, or like picture yourself back in the newbie shoes stage. What did you do to kind of like push yourself just to get to that mark of Success Club 10 or whatever you were aiming for?
Okay, before I go to that, I do want to say, I shouldn't say I don't form. It's kind of after I do the invite, because then I send them a survey and I ask them all about them. So I say, what's your job? What do you do? What have you struggled with in the past with health and fitness? So I should take that back. I do learn a lot about them, but it's after I send the invite. So I didn't want to be like, no, I never learn about them, and I just say here. Because I want to know their struggles. I want to know what they've done with health and fitness in the past. So, but that is in my survey, because then it's more organized for me. Going to your question. So what was it? Like, what did I do at the end of the month to make sure I hit Success Club?
Well, I guess it was a two-part question. I kind of was asking how you handle like inviting people into the coaching opportunity, and then what did you do to like kind of push yourself to hit your Success Club goals by the end of the month? Or
yeah,
whenever.
So coaching, when I go through that process that I was telling you about, those aren't really my coaching prospects. They're just my customers, and I'm like, do you want the discount or not? And I offer it to them kind of, and I'm like, hey, you can build a business if you want, but most of them who are coming to me for health and fitness aren't at that point yet. I do invite strictly to coaching as well. So like, I have a whole separate step process for coaching. So it's like, I invited them to coaching. I sent them a webinar about coaching. I gave them more details or battled their objections or whatever. So I have the same process. And same thing, I just straight up invite. Like, I'm just like, hey, have you ever thought of doing what I do? Or have you ever considered coaching? You're super into fitness. Because my personal story was more about, I saw my coach coaching and I wanted to do that. Yes, I had a transformation with the products, but I also wanted to do the business. So I have like my own I'll also show you the pipelines for that too, but it's like invite, send a webinar, are they in the sneak peek type of thing? I'm still working on that. It's like ask more questions, stuff like that. And then I follow up with them too. I'm trying to think back to when, so this is not like a great answer. I'm not a procrastinator. I never have been. So if I'm not at Success Club 10 by like the 10th, I freak out. So I was never that coach to like be stressing at the end of the month because I hate that just personally. Like I could not in college, if someone gave us assignment and was like, you have 2 weeks to write this paper, I would have it done in like 3 days and then not worry about it. I wasn't like a pull an all-nighter right before it was due. Like I just like I said, I have anxiety. I can't do that. But I think for me, it's more about worrying about it in the middle of the month. So if I'm at the middle of the month and I'm not at my goals, I'm like, okay, I need to up my invites, or like I need to up how many people I'm talking to, or I need to change up something. And what I'm doing for my coaches right now is offering them more sneak peek groups. So like, okay, how can I help my coaches hit Success Club? Let's run a sneak peek group towards the end of the month, and get some people talking about stories in there. And I'll have some of my customers go live and be like, here's my experience with this. And then try to just get them in front of some other people instead of just me, to like show them what the community is like. Yeah, that was probably not the answer you wanted, but that's just what I do.
Did you say your coach invite in Streak is a separate pipeline, or is it the same one?
It's the same pipeline, but it's
below
different stages. Yeah. So like I have it all in one pipeline, but I have like my steps 1 through 5 for customers, and then I have like 3 steps below that for coach invites.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then that's different too. Like if I have a challenger who I'm inviting to coach, I don't really track that in there. I'm just kind of asking them because I'm already so connected with them and know them. I kind of just do that separately, but I don't even count that as my invite for the day, because I'd count my invites as all new people that I'm inviting.
How many invites do you do a day?
Okay, I'll give you my answer of what it started with and what it is now. I started with 3, 5 new conversations, 3 new invites. I did that for like a year and a half. And that's kind of when I said, so I quit my job 9 months in because we moved to Colorado for Tyler to go to grad school. And I was just like, I'm not getting another full-time job. I would have had to commute like an hour and a half each way. I didn't want to do it. So I switched to part-time work. And in that process is when I had more time then, and that's when I made the mistake of I kept my invites at 3, I kept my new combos at 5, and I tried to build a website and build a Pinterest, and I wasted all this time. Finally, I heard someone else say they were doing 20 new conversations a day, and I was like, what? Like, you do 20 and 10 invites? And then that's when I started doing some of Josh Coates' stuff, and his art of recruiting is 20 new conversations, 10 invites. So I've been doing that ever since, and I have done that since last, like, May-ish. So I do 20 new combos, 10 new invites now. But I put in over Success Club 10 when I was still doing 3. So it's possible. Like, you just have to be consistent with those 3.
Right. But now you hit like Success Club 40. So.
Yeah. Because you up your numbers, and like that's what happens, and it's just that consistency. So again, even though I'm full-time now, like I don't go to bed and like I have my planner, and like I've only done 4 invites today so far. So I wanted to be done before this call and before my team call, but I'm not. So I won't go to bed until I have 10 little tallies beside my invites for today.
Yeah. And that's just discipline. Your middle name is Discipline. If there's anything I've learned about this girl, it's discipline and consistency.
Well, that's what the call was about, so I hope so.
But like, you see how simple it is? Like, even if those numbers that she does now like seemed overwhelming, it's the same thing she was doing before. she just upped her numbers and now she's getting higher results. So really it's like whatever you want to make happen in your business, all you have to do is like do the right amount of numbers basically.
Mm-hmm. And I should say too, like, I don't think I could do these numbers right now if I didn't put them all online, to be honest. Like, I did that for a while. I didn't switch over to Streak until August of last year. But I I wish I had the notebook. I think I threw it out. You should have seen it. It was a mess. It took me like way too long every day to do follow-ups. Like I was like crossing people's names out and rewriting them for 2 days later and crossing them out and rewriting them. And it just took so much time, and it got to the point where it wasn't fun for me anymore. Like it was taking the joy out of it because I was just crossing off names of people who weren't answering me and following up with them 2 days later and rewriting their name in this little notebook that was a big notebook, but I had to write their names like this tiny so I could fit them all on the page. It was a mess. Like, guys, I tell you this stuff out of experience because it made my life miserable for a little bit. And that's like when my coaching was like not doing as well because I wasn't enjoying it. So you like have to make sure you're doing things that you enjoy and not like sucking up your time.
Yeah, totally.
So since you up your numbers, like how, because I have this problem, I get overwhelmed with my inbox. Because like I've gone back and forth between like upping my numbers and reducing them because I'm too overwhelmed with my inbox, and I like even lose people. Like I'll send messages out and then 2 weeks later I'm like, they responded and I never responded again. So how do you keep track of that or like not feel overwhelmed by that?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm still working on it because what I do though, so my messages overwhelm me. I'll start all these conversations and I won't always get back to them, which is horrible, and I'm working on it. Like I am working on it and taking steps to make it better. But what I do, that's why I use email, because anyone who's seriously interested, who said they're interested, I switch over to email, and then I make it a priority every day to get my email inbox down to 0. So even if I can't get to all my messages, at least I'm answering the people who are answering in my email and getting that down. And like those are the people who are interested, I need to get back to. But then my messages are more just like those forming conversations where if I don't answer them today, it's not gonna kill anyone, or like I won't feel as bad because they're just conversation builders. But if they're interested, they're in my email.
Okay.
So when they basically say like, yeah, I'm interested in joining your next challenge group, or yeah, this coaching thing sounds really cool, is that when you say, hey, awesome, what's your email? And I'll send you an email back?
Yep, that's all
I don't know why that just blew my mind. Maybe this is the secret that I need to start emailing people, because Emily, I feel that way sometimes too. Other Emily S. That you kind of get overwhelmed with all the messages and like you said, keeping track. Because I'm working very much so in pockets of time, and I also have mom brain, so no brain. So okay, thank you. That was really helpful.
Yeah, and some people get all worried about that. Like, how do I ask for their email? Are they going to think it's weird? Are they going to think it's spammy? And I don't care. I just say, okay, cool. What's your email? We'll chat there. Or like, hey, cool. What's your email? I'll send you the details. Like honestly, some people will not give it, and I'll just have to do theirs in Messenger, but 99% will. And then I recommend it because we don't own Facebook and we don't own Instagram. So one day if those just crash or go down, at least you still have an email list. So I don't have like a newsletter or anything fancy yet. I will in the future, but at least I have their emails where if something ever would happen, I don't want it to, but then I still have a way to be in connection. And for me, it was just, I mainly did it for the organization's sake for myself. Like, yes, some of them don't answer email very well. It may take longer, but like for my brain, I just had to have a place where I was organized, and having it in email where I was only talking to people who actually wanted information really helped me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, the organization of having it in email. And then I know that like all the messages in my email are like for real. Like there are people that were either talking about challenge or coaching, whereas like, you know, sometimes on Facebook or Instagram, people just send you like random questions and like it's not even gonna go to anything, like, or it's gonna take forever to go to something. So at least you know when you hop into your email inbox, it's like the serious stuff. What are you doing?
Is your cat opening the door?
Trying.
Trying to sign the cat up to be a coach.
Yeah. I feel like there was one other thing I was going to say, but I don't know what it was. I don't know. Yeah, he wants to come out.
Well, I will make that streak video at some point and give that to Crystal so you guys can see it. Like I said, it's not going to be a tutorial of how to set up streak because you can just YouTube that. I'm kind of a tough love when it comes to that stuff, but I will show you how I use it then of here's my stages, here's like mine is overwhelming too, by the way. Like I will say that in the video, like I have like way too many stages, way too many things, but it works for my visual brain, but you don't have to do that. Like I told Crystal when she was starting, because I had like step one follow-up in Messenger, step two follow-up. Like you don't have to do that to start, and I didn't do that to start either. Like I literally just had the 5. So step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I said to Crystal, just start with that. You can add to it what you want, but you don't have to make it super overwhelming. It just I like to be visual and I know where they are. I followed up with them once, I followed up with them twice, and then I know, okay, now you're going to move on to my monthly follow-ups because you're not answering me. And then it helps you not waste time with people who aren't serious either and who aren't deserving of your time.
Right, yeah. So is anyone going to go out and do Google Streak this week? Nice, I love it. They saw a photo of mine. I didn't share a photo of yours, Emily's, but they'll see yours and they'll see like mine's like this pastel. It looks like an Easter egg.
Mine's like a rainbow, so
Glitter dropping everywhere.
Yeah, there's unicorns flying around the screen. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, before we go, can we do a boom real quick?
Yeah.
All right. See if I can get everyone in here. Are you ready? Everyone, 1, 2. Oh shit, I did it. Sorry. Did it too early.
It's okay. She's heard worse.
Okay.
I love that she laughed at it.
All right, you guys ready for real? 1, 2, 3. That was cute. Okay.
Oh no, I tried to do one, but I cut Crystal off.
Cut me off. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, so go. Ready? 1.
Wait, is it a boom?
Yeah.
Okay.
2, 3. Okay, I didn't cut you off that time.
Yeah.
I got so excited and I looked at it and I was like, where's Crystal's in it?
Anyone else want to take a photo or a boom?
So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My name's just my name on Instagram. So follow me, tell me what you did to implement. I want to hear what you guys did after this call or what you took away from it. That's what I love after team calls. If you guys just send me a message and you're like, hey, I learned this, or hey, I implemented this, because I want to see you guys put it into action and not just have it as a call you listen to and forget about, but really take something away and put it towards your business so you can grow your business.
Yes, totally. Take action. So thank you again, Emily, and thanks everyone for being here. This was amazing. I'm sure we're all going to catch the recording again. So thank you, girl.
You're welcome. I'll see you in an hour for my team call.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye, guys. It was nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Bye.